Alright, we're going to find the relative extrema of the function g of x. Um, so we need to take the derivative. So g prime of x is equal to, so we're going to have to use the quotient rule here. So the derivative of the top is negative 40. Rewriting the bottom. Minus the top. Times derivative of the bottom. Derivative of the bottom is just 2x. Alright, and this is all over the bottom squared. Well, we need to rewrite this top and clean this up, because remember, we're going to have to set this thing equal to 0 and solve for x. So I'm going to multiply this negative 40 across, and this negative, multiply it in here, and this 2x, multiply it in here, and simplify the top. And I'm going to do all that in one step by magic. Okay, so magically this has appeared. Alright, this is g prime of x still. Now by cleaning up the top, so we have a negative 40x squared and a positive 80x squared. That's just going to be a 40. X squared minus 640. And that's all over the bottom squared again. So g prime of x. Alright, we need to factor the top part out. And I guess the question is how many times does 40 go into 640? And the answer to that is 16. So I'm going to factor the 40 out, and that's going to be left with x squared minus 16. And that's all over plus 16 quantity squared. Alright, moving on down. Now we take this and we set it equal 0. So I guess instead of rewriting this, I'm just going to erase this. Erase there. Put a 0 there. Voilà. Alright, so when is this thing 0? Well, you want to factor this piece right here. So we want to take the top and set it equal to 0. And then factor it. So we have x minus 4 and x plus 4. So the critical numbers for the top is going to be 4 and negative 4. So our critical numbers is 4 and negative 4. Now what about the bottom? Is there anything complete in the bottom to get this to be 0? And the answer to that is no. So we're just concerned about 4 and negative 4. So I take 4 and negative 4, plot on the number line, negative 4 here, positive 4. I choose some critical numbers, for example, some test points, negative 5, 0, and 5. And then I want to plug these test points back into the derivative that's been factored. And so I just take negative 5 and let's plug it in. So in the bottom here, it's always, since it's squared, it's always going to be a positive. All right. We take negative 5 and we plug it in. I'm going to look at this piece right here. Remember, this piece is nothing more than this. So if you take negative 5 and you plug it in here, negative 5, negative 4, it's a negative. And a negative 5 plus 4 is a negative. And a negative times a negative is positive. So this is increasing. So now we want to take 0, plug it in. So plug it in the bottom. Like I said, it's going to always be a positive number in the bottom. We take a 0, plug it in. So we have a 0 squared is 0. We're going to have a negative 16, and negative 16 and 40 is a negative number. So then this is decreasing. from negative 4 to 4, and then plug 5 in, and 5 minus 4 is 1. 5 plus 4 is 9, and 1 times 9 is a positive number. So remember, this guy right here is nothing more than this piece right here. Okay, so we have increasing from negative infinity to negative 4, decreasing from negative 4 to 4, and increasing from 4 to infinity. And to find points on the graph, remember that we just plug our critical numbers directly in to the function, to our original up here, which our original was named g of x, not f. So we need to make that correction right now. All right, so we plug negative 4 in into the original, and we end up with negative 40 times negative 4 over, all right, negative 4, and I'm gonna let you get that number. And so we say then that at negative 4, g of negative 4, and that's after you evaluate this and plug it in here, this is a max, right? And I'm not going to write the other one out. Plugging 0 into this. So actually, I guess I did that. So that's 0. Plug 0 in, you're just going to get 0 on top. Therefore, it would be your g of 0 is 0. And why am I plugging 0 in? I guess I still hadn't woke up. Okay. Let's go back real quick. Negative 4 and 4 are the two numbers that we're plugging in. Boy. All right, here's 4 and g of 4, and I'll let you calculate that. And so this is a minimum. All right.